If you are ready for a big back snack, honey, I'm going to show you how to make this peach cobbler pudding. It's like banana pudding and peach cobbler got together, had a baby. Honey, this is what it is. Now, I've seen Kimmy Creations make hers, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do my version. I'm going to put my own spin on it, and guys, it's going to be good. The best pudding recipes always start out with egg yolks. I'm going to use 4 of them. If you see a recipe that wants you to use whole eggs, honey, just run from it because you do not want those egg whites. I save those just to put into a breakfast omelet. Now I'm going to show you the easiest way to do the pudding. We ain't going to temper eggs, none of that, okay? Now I have a pot on my stove and the eye is off, okay? It is completely cold. The first thing you want to do is mix your cornstarch, your sugar, and your salt very well. This is going to make sure that there's not going to be any lumps in from that cornstarch and everything's going to come together perfectly. Now, while my eye is still off, I'm going to put in the eggs. I'm going to use my whisk to start breaking up those egg yolks, and then I am going to start putting in my dairy. For this recipe, I am using a combination of heavy cream and whole milk. However, you can use evaporated milk and whole milk to do this as well. I would not use low-fat milk to make this because your pudding is just not going to be rich enough. I have cut my eye on a 2 on an electric stove, and I am very gradually going to increase the heat up until about a 4. The thing about making a pudding is that you want to slowly increase the heat. That way the eggs are going to cook properly and you're not going to burn your milk. In total, it is going to take about 20 minutes for your pudding to cook. Do not walk away. Do not take a potty break. The only thing you need to do is sit here and slowly stir and babysit this pudding. Okay, that's what you're going to do for the next 20 minutes. How long you cook the pudding is going to determine the thickness. I like my pudding on the thick side, baby. You know, I want it to have a little meat on it. Okay, so I cook mine until it gets to about this texture, and then I am going to take it off of the heat. I'm going to place this on my counter and throw in 2 tablespoons of butter and a tablespoon of vanilla extract. Because the flavor of the vanilla is really going to come through, you cannot use imitation vanilla. I have used imitation vanilla when I've baked at times, but definitely not in a pudding. I'm going to place this pudding in a Tupperware container, and I'm going to place this in the fridge for anywhere from 2 hours to overnight. It just depends on how quickly you want to make your pudding. While that is cooling off, I'm going to prepare this peach cobbler filling. I am using 3 cans of peaches in heavy syrup because I want the peaches to be sweet. I have drained 2 of the peaches and then I am leaving the juice inside of 1 of them. I'm going to start to cook this over a medium heat with a little bit of peach bourbon. You don't have to do this. I know everyone don't play with the alcohol, but if you do have peach bourbon, it is very nice in your peach filling. I'm going to add a pinch of salt as well as some cinnamon, and I'm going to grate in some fresh nutmeg. Pre-ground nutmeg just doesn't hit the same. I feel like nutmeg just loses its potency really quickly, so go and get you some nutmegs and get a little grinder and put it on in there. I'm also going to add a tablespoon of vanilla extract as well as a little bit of brown sugar. Now remember, these peaches was in that heavy syrup, so you don't want to get crazy with it. I'm literally adding about 2 tablespoons right now. After I simmer this for a few minutes, I'll be able to decide if I want to add a little bit more. I'm then going to put in a juice of half of a lemon. I'm going to cover this and allow this to simmer on a medium-low for about 5 minutes. Then to thicken this up, I've put some cornstarch and water. I'm going to mix that in with a little bit of butter because y'all know in the South we love some butter, and butter makes everything better, baby. I decided it just needed about 2 more tablespoons of brown sugar, and that was it. Remember, you're going to add pudding. You're also going to have cookies. Honey ain't trying to get the sugar foot. Plus, there was already sugar on them from the can. But if you decide to use peaches that are not in heavy syrup, of course, you're going to want to add more sugar. My pudding is ready. It is nice and thick, baby, with 2 C's. Okay, she is thickums. And so I am going to add this to a bowl. Now, just to lighten her up just a little bit, I'm going to put in some Cool Whip. If you want to make your own homemade whipped cream, go ahead and do it, honey. I am not going to stop you, but today I'm just keeping it easy. And I like to use this extra creamy one because I think the texture is just a lot nicer in the pudding. For my cookies, I am going to switch it up. I'm going to use oatmeal cookies, which are really great with the peaches, and I'm also going to use those airplane cookies. Okay, I'm using this biscoff. The cinnamon really complements the peaches, and so this is a great combo. You do not have to do this, but I like to crush up the cookies just a little bit, at least some of them. I just think they just melt into the dish a little bit better. And also, I'm pretty much going to dig straight into this right after I make it. So those cookies aren't even going to set that much. So I just break up a few of them. And then I'm going to start to put everything into my trifle bowl. I love this one because it's clear and you can really see everything that's going on. Now, I was attempting to make a little design on the side with the half of the biscoff cookies. It didn't really come through the way that I wanted it to, but I know that y'all are seeing the vision, okay? So once I have down my pudding layer, a few cookies, I'm then going to go in with some peaches and the syrup. The syrup blends really nicely into that vanilla pudding, and then it just melts into those cookies. Best combo. Okay, so don't leave that syrup off. I'm going to continue layering this with thick layers of pudding and peaches and cookies until my trifle bowl is filled up. Let me know in the comments if you have ever tried something like this, or if you were into these big bag desserts, y'all. You know, we just doing everything out here these days. Or are you a traditionalist? Are you like, nah, honey, I just got to stick to my traditional banana pudding or my typical peach cobbler? I like to explore. So let me know if you guys like these sort of fusion recipes or just seeing something a little bit different.